for the thing that you don't understand. You got no fear of the underdog. That's why you will not survive.
Welcome to Talking Tier 1. I'm Tony Scott. Joining the studio with me is Peter Odney. Peter joining us from lots of Tier 1 coverage the last couple of weeks. Peter, thanks for joining us.
Just call me Dr. Tier 1, Tony. Operating on all these teams.
You are. All right. Before we get to the show, we have a sponsor of today's show. Tell us a little bit about who our sponsor is this week.
Tony, our sponsor today is Hockey Shot. Improve your game on and off the ice. Hockey Shot is the worldwide leader in hockey training. Whether you're looking for fun and dynamic training equipment or want to learn from professional players and coaches online, the future of hockey starts now. Visit hockeyshot.com.
Our show starts now. Let's start now talking about the U16s, and we'll work our way all the way down to the 05s. You're going to carry most of the show today. I got some big announcement at the 04 level, but let's start at the U16 midget level.
All right, let's start with U16s. Tony, I was in Faribault. I took in a couple of U16 games with Shattuck and Chicago Mission, Omaha, and the Chicago Young Americans. So a lot of good hockey down there. Shattuck pulled off the win over our number one Mission team 4-3 down in Faribault, and Mission ended up beating Shattuck twice last weekend to reclaim the number one spot.
They are the number one team in the country. I talked to a lot of U16 people. They are the team. I think Omaha is right there. I think it's close. Mm-hmm. Omaha did beat Mission at Faribault as well.
They did. Omaha slipped to number 2 in the rankings. It's not a knock on Omaha. They just haven't played since that tournament, and Mission pulled off 2 wins over the number 3 team.
Yeah, I agree with that. What about Little Caesars? They're doing well, too.
Little Caesars is a team that's going to creep up there. They might sneak up on some people. They're unbeaten since December 3rd. That's a 10-game unbeaten streak, Tony.
You know, Boston Junior Eagles beat Shattuck early in the year down in Faribault. That's a team that I think people got to keep an eye on out east, as well as in Jersey Avalanche. They played Shattuck real tough, 3-4 weeks back. So, again, I don't think this is just a Midwest year. I think East Coast has good hockey.
Those East Coast teams are sneaky.
Yeah, they
because you don't see them nearly as much as you see the other Midwest teams.
And then you have the prep school before and after teams like the Whalers. So you just never know, or Yale Bulldogs. These are teams that will sneak up to you and make it into the national tournament as well. So it's a lot of hockey yet to play. I don't think we're calling the Chicago Missions. We're not crowning them yet.
Not yet. You can't crown anyone in Tier 1, though. I mean, the teams, they change so much every day.
I agree. All right, let's slide on into our O2s. A lot of great hockey. You saw the Minnetonka team win.
I did.
Beat the number 1 Chicago Mission team. For us Minnesota, prideful people. That
Minnetonka proving once again that Minnesota really does have the best hockey.
Yeah, they do, and you're just going to have to get used to it.
Absolutely. Another team that teams are going to have to get used to is Detroit Little Caesars.
Yes.
Who swept through the Motor City, beating CompuWare, Honey Baked, and Bell Tire in succession.
That's solid. They've been the number 1 team all year.
Kings of the Motor City.
If we can crown somebody, we could crown the
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars team right now at Major Band. Lots of good teams to contend with them. Mission is one that you saw. Right. We talk big and bad about Minnetonka. They did lose their next 2 games.
They did. They might have overspent in game 1.
Yeah, which is fine. To RHA, and then they also lost to who did they lose to? Lost to the Winnipeg team RHA, and then they lost to Shattuck 4-0.
Right. Speaking of that RHA team, there's a player that I really liked when I was down there, Sequoia Swan, and you can't miss him.
If for nothing else, he's got a cool name.
He's got a really cool name, but you can't miss him. He's got really long hair that goes down to about the middle of his back, and it trails behind him when he's skating, and he's usually skating faster than everybody else. So it looks a little bit like a flame trailing behind him.
Ty Thorpe's another good player on that team as well. A kid that's been well documented on our site. We've seen him play for lots of different teams. Right. He's a player. Who else did you like at the O2 level down there? I
liked former Minneapolis product Kyron Morioka between the pipes for Shattuck. He's probably one of the most polished goaltenders at this level. I mean, he does everything well, and there aren't really any holes in his game. And I also liked Nick Henry from Minnetonka. Yep.
Is he still wearing number 61?
He's still wearing number 61, those Tonka teams with their interesting number choices.
Yeah, they have all kinds of numbers. All right, let's go really quick to the 03 level. What's going on at the 03s?
Mission remains number one at the 03. Chicago Mission as an entire association is having a really, really good start to the year.
I agree with that, but I think they moved up at past Bell Tire, because Bell Tire must
They
have been,
did.
I'm not sure if it was 2 shows ago or 1 rankings ago, so Bell Tire has recently dropped. What brought on the loss, dropping of Bell Tire in your ranking?
Bell Tire suffered a couple of losses to good teams in the Los Angeles Junior Kings and the New Jersey Colonials, but those 2 losses, they're going to kill you every time. You and I are both pretty high on Bell Tire.
Very high,
but
yes.
Losses dropped.
And that was down in Florida, right, a couple
Yep.
weeks ago? Yeah, that's a good tournament that the people in Florida put on for kids to travel, kind of a staycation.
A little
They stay and
staycation.
play, they get a little bit of vacation. I saw some tweets from the Gentry kids. You know, it's a big deal for kids from Minnesota to go to Florida and hang out at a
They're
hotel.
not used to
They're-
the sun, though.
Yeah, a little flip-flop action and a little hockey action. That's pretty fun for those guys. What else is going on in 03? Is there any teams that we should keep an eye on? Who's been,
You know,
been there
we're
coming up?
We're going to keep an eye on Virtua, who's based out of New Jersey.
That's the old Comcast team, isn't it?
Yeah, it takes 3 or 4 Google searches to nail
Figure out
down the
what a Virtua
website
is?
for
Yeah,
them.
yep.
But Virtua is a team to keep an eye on. Wins over the aforementioned Gentry Galaxy and over the New Jersey Colonials,
Who are ranked,
Who
right?
are ranked.
So-
So Virtua is a team to keep an eye on.
Okay. All right. Still trying to figure out what Virtua means. We just know it doesn't mean Comcast anymore, right?
We're also still trying to figure out who plays for the Virtua team.
Yeah, we love a roster. A roster of teams posted on a team website is really helpful if we're going to call you out and call out players' names. So as of right now, no Virtua minor Bantams listed on their website. We'd love to have it. All right, moving on to the 04s.
Jumping
okay?
into the 04s, and I'm going to let you steer this ship.
Big announcement today. YHH is going to be putting on its national combine this year at the 2004 level. It's called the 2K4 All-American Combine. It's going to be held in South Bend, Indiana. We're not just Minnesota anymore, apparently. At University of Notre Dame.
Moving on up.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Great event. We're going to have players from all over the country. We're sending out private invites. Here's a few of them that aren't so private anymore. And you can imagine, you've seen the 04s a lot this year.
Yeah.
Players like Cutter Gauthier, Rutger McGorty from Honey Baked, Gavin Brindley from Florida, Garrett Brown from the San Jose Junior Sharks, Caleb Smith from Buffalo, you've seen, and as well as a local product from, at least local from our by our standards.
Local-ish.
Cole Spicer from Grand Forks, North Dakota, an outstanding 04 talent. Those kids will be invited, plus many, many more will be invited to this 80-team combine held at the University of Notre Dame. We're really excited about it. More news on YHH coming up soon. We're going to send invites to all the kids, and when some invites start to some registrations come rolling in, we'll post all of the invites publicly on YHH in the next 7 to 10 days.
Be sure to keep checking for updates.
Yeah, refresh your screen as many times as you want. We'll take that.
We'll take the page views.
We'll take the page views. All right, moving on. 05s. What's
Our
going
last
on down there?
last rung of the ladder, the 05s, the Little Flyers. We were on the fence about the Little Flyers
Not
a couple
anymore.
of weeks ago. Not anymore.
Off the fence.
Cruising. Just cruising. Wins over Team Illinois, the Long Island Royals, and the Madison Capitals.
They came to Notre Dame and played. Speaking of Notre Dame, they were down at Notre Dame a couple weeks ago, or within the last 2 weeks, and they beat the Madison Capitals. Madison Capitals played in our Squirtacular last year and had some success there. That's a really good team. 20 to 30-ish in my hockey ranking. Still a good team. Couple good wins for the Little Flyers.
They beat the Capitals twice that weekend.
Yep. What's a team to watch who's done really well at the 05 level that we may not have heard of or we probably keep an eye on?
Another East Coast team is a team to keep an eye on. The Boston Junior Eagles have won 9 in a row, and they're another team that could make some noise once they start playing some of these Midwest teams.
And also, all those wins are probably in league or really local. They haven't busted out of the borders of Boston lately.
Right. But something to keep in mind is when you're playing teams that might be local or might not be up to the caliber of Tier 1 travel hockey, you still got to beat them.
Yeah.
And you got to beat them convincingly, and the Junior Eagles have done that.
And that's a really good program. I suspect that the Junior Eagles program will continue to get stronger over the next couple of years at the 05 level.
It's a solid assessment.
Lots of great 05s in the Boston area, as you saw in our show last year. That was that's a team I'll never forget. Let's put it that way. Really good squad. All right. In the spirit of the season, we won't be doing Boom Roasteds on today's show.
We're gonna hang on to them.
Yeah, we're gonna let them fester, and they're gonna get even.
They're gonna marinate a little bit.
Yes, and we're gonna make them even roastier for the new year. So get ready for our show when we kick off the new year. Let's give out a couple game pucks.
I am gonna have to. I did forget the puck.
the puck just seems to always elude us for whatever reason.
It's like Adrian Peterson in the football.
Yeah,
It's always rolling
slipped out of
around
his
on the ground.
hands. Exactly. I like that. Good Minnesota
So
jab.
disappointing. My game puck, Tony, is going to go to the Minnetonka Bantam AA team, knocking off the #1 team in the country.
Big news here
Shout
in
out to the
Minnesota. We like
Skippers.
that. That was a big win for them. My game puck goes out to the family of the U14 Omaha team, Shane Sanborn, who passed away suddenly in a car accident, actually on his way to hockey. So huge shout out to his family and all of the people in Omaha who are definitely hurting for certain at this time of year at the recent loss of Coach Sanborn. So our thoughts and prayers are with you, the whole Sanborn family, and the whole Omaha AAA program. What a great bunch of people that we've met throughout the years covering their club. We're thinking of you. So Peter as well, a huge shout out to you. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, Tony.
And a Happy New Year. We'll be
And a
back
Happy New
after
Year.
the first of the year to do Talking Tier 1. For Peter, I'm Tony. Have a good day.